Imagine waking up tomorrow to a headline that reads, "China shatters the laws of physics, unveils the world's first 1-nanometer chip." Would you believe it? Or would you dismiss it as propaganda, a bluff in the high-stakes tech war? Because if this claim is real, it doesn't just change smartphones or supercomputers. It changes everything, from global power balances to the very limits of science itself. For decades, the laws of physics have defined the limits of semiconductor technology. Every nanometer pushed, every transistor miniaturized has been a testament to human ingenuity against seemingly immovable barriers. We thought we knew the ultimate frontier. We thought we understood the absolute edge of what was technologically possible. But what if one nation just broke it? What if they shattered the very rules governing the microchip industry? Not by inches, but by light years. A whisper has turned into a roar across the global tech landscape. China claims to have developed a 1-nanometer chip. These claims are not independently verified. Industry experts caution that China may be using 1 nanometer as a marketing label or describing a research prototype, not a mass-produced chip. If true, though, this isn't just an advancement. It's a technological earthquake, a redefinition of Moore's Law, and a direct challenge to the very foundation of modern electronics manufacturing. But did they truly achieve the unthinkable? Did China's 1-nanometer chip just break physics? Or is this the greatest technological deception of our time? The answer will redefine the future of digital innovation. Welcome back to the Quantum Silk Route, your essential guide to the most disruptive technologies and profound shifts in the innovation landscape. Today, we're dissecting a claim so audacious it's sending shockwaves from Silicon Valley to Taipei and beyond. Before we unravel this mind-bending mystery, if you're as fascinated by the cutting edge of microchip development and the future of computing power as we are, do us a huge favor. Smash that like button right now. Your support fuels our mission to bring you the unfiltered truth about emerging tech and the future of innovation. For half a century, the semiconductor industry has lived under the shadow of Moore's Law, the observation that the number of transistors on a chip doubles roughly every 2 years. Back in the 1970s, chips had only a few thousand transistors. By the 1990s, millions. Today, cutting-edge processors contain tens of billions. Each leap shrank computers, boosted performance, and fueled revolutions in everything from smartphones to space exploration. But Moore's Law is hitting a wall. The current cutting edge, achievable by only a handful of elite manufacturers like TSMC and Samsung, is the 3-nanometer process, with 2-nanometer chips expected by late 2025 or 2026. At these scales, we're talking about transistor structures just a few dozen atoms wide. And then, the bombshell, reports that China has achieved a 1-nanometer process node. To put that into perspective, a single strand of DNA is about 2.5 nanometers wide. At 1 nanometer, we're practically sculpting matter atom by atom. This isn't incremental progress, it's a quantum leap. But here's the problem. At this extreme, physics itself fights back. Quantum tunneling. Electrons slip through barriers they shouldn't. Heat leakage. Tiny circuits overheat and collapse. Stability issues. Transistors lose reliability at near-atomic dimensions. Overcoming these effects isn't just an engineering challenge. It requires a new paradigm in materials, design, and atomic control. That's why the global roadmap has always viewed 1 nanometer as decades away, if achievable at all with silicon. So, how could China, under sanctions and restricted from accessing the most advanced tools, claim the impossible? Theory 1. Multi-patterning with DUV tools. China might be pushing older deep ultraviolet DUV lithography far beyond what experts believed possible. By layering patterns multiple times, engineers can simulate finer features. But it's painfully slow, error-prone, and expensive. For mass production at 1 nanometer, it's considered nearly impossible. Theory 2. Breakthroughs in novel materials. Some reports suggest Chinese labs are experimenting with 2D materials like graphene or molybdenum disulfide. These materials can create ultra-thin channels, reducing electron tunneling and offering stability beyond silicon's limits. If true, this isn't just catching up, it's rewriting the semiconductor rulebook. Theory 3. A radical new architecture. Instead of traditional transistors, China may be working on gate-all-around designs, neuromorphic chips, or quantum-adjacent architectures. These wouldn't just scale silicon, they'd leapfrog it, bypassing today's barriers entirely. The secrecy surrounding this alleged breakthrough only fuels suspicion. Without independent verification, the line between fact and propaganda blurs. At today's cutting edge, the world relies on extreme ultraviolet lithography, EUV machines, massive, complex systems built almost exclusively by one Dutch company, ASML. Each EUV machine costs over $150 million and is so intricate it requires 100,000 parts from suppliers across the globe. Without EUV, mass-producing chips below 5 nanometers is virtually impossible. China, however, is blocked from buying these machines due to US-led export controls. That's why experts scratch their heads at the 1 nanometer claim. If China has achieved it, they've either 1. Found a workaround that shocks the entire industry, or 2. Defined 1 nanometer in a way that doesn't match global standards. Either possibility carries massive implications. So, is this a true scientific marvel or a strategic illusion? First, proof of concept versus. Mass production a lab breakthrough is possible, but turning a prototype into millions of reliable chips is an entirely different battle. 2. Psychological warfare. In the tech Cold War, perception is power. A bold announcement, even if unverified, can disrupt rivals, rattle investors, and project strength on the world stage. 3. Definitional game zoo in chipmaking. 1 nanometer is often more of a marketing term than a literal measurement. China's definition of 1 nm may not match international industry standards. Whether exaggerated or real, China's claim has global implications. Geopolitics. If true, it would upend US export controls, rendering many sanctions obsolete overnight. Military and AI. A 1 nanometer chip would supercharge China's ambitions in AI, surveillance, quantum research, and defense. Economics. Control of the smallest node means control of the future industrial revolution, but most experts remain skeptical. The consensus is that China is making rapid progress, but is still years behind the world leaders. Take SMIC, China's most advanced foundry. In recent years, they've produced 7 nanometer class chips using DUV machines, but yields are low, costs are high, and they remain generations behind TSMC's industrial capacity. A true leap to 1 nanometer from that position would be extraordinary, if not improbable. Still, dismissing China outright would be a mistake. They're pouring trillions into every layer of the semiconductor supply chain. EDA software, chip design automation, wafer fabrication equipment, materials science, advanced packaging. The long-term goal isn't just catching up, it's self-sufficiency. This isn't just about faster phones or shinier laptops. This is about who controls the core building blocks of the digital economy, who dominates artificial intelligence and supercomputing, who leads in defense, cybersecurity, and space technology. The semiconductor race is no longer about gadgets. It's about global supremacy. Disclaimer, reminder. Until independent verification is provided, China's 1 nanometer claim should be treated with caution. It may represent a prototype, a marketing redefinition, or even a geopolitical tactic rather than a true industry breakthrough. So, where does this leave us? Whether fact, exaggeration, or clever strategy, one thing is clear. The semiconductor race is intensifying and the stakes have never been higher. So what's your take? Did China really break physics? Or is this a geopolitical bluff in the ongoing tech war? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. We want to hear from you. And remember, this isn't the end of the conversation. It's just the beginning. Should we explore the next generation of AI hardware, the race for quantum computing, or the future of sustainable technology? Tell us what excites your curiosity most. If you found this deep dive captivating, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Quantum Silk Route for more exclusive insights into the technologies shaping our future. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you again at the absolute cutting edge. This is Quantum Silk Route signing off.